Okay, everyone, welcome to the All Out Season 1 finale. It's been almost 2 months of ups and downs, and there's been tears and heartaches and lots of blind sides. And after all of that, it has boiled down to our final two, Abra and Taylor. One of you will become the first winner. We will have a female winner, which is pretty cool. And yeah, regardless of the outcome, you've made it awesome. Obviously, the jurors who are on this call, you guys are all great in your own way, and you've really helped make the later stages of this game so enjoyable. And yeah, I'll give like another speech at the end, but I guess right now I want to direct it to the two finalists. So, finalists, you're going to have 5 minutes to give your opening speeches, and then each juror is going to have 7 minutes for questions. You don't have to use all 7 minutes if you don't have enough questions, but that's what I'll give you. And then the finalists will have 3 minutes to do closing statements. So, Taylor, you won final immunity. You can choose who goes first.
I would like Aubrey to go first.
Of course you do. All right, I'll be honored. So I just want to warn you all right now that I'm a little emotional tonight with everything going on. So if I start crying randomly for no reason, then just forgive me. But yeah, it's just been a stressful day, and then everything happening on top of that just kind of pisses me off. But let's get through this. So first off, I just wanted to start and thank Charity, Eddie, and Reynolds for not letting me drop out last minute. Like, I tried to. Love you guys. The game was amazing. Thank you to the jury for playing so hard, making this game so challenging and fun. Thank you to Taylor for being a queen and letting me sit next to you right now. I'm honored. So this game has been so long, it felt like I really played 3 games. The start on the blue tribe, my strategy was basically just to be social and not overplay, so that my name never came up early. We got to the swap tribe. I put together an alliance of 5 right away. It was basically just the people that talked the most and the people that felt good about each other. That got me through like 17 travels, something like that. So I was thankful for that group. Then we got to merge, and it was a little tricky. I wanted to rely on the connections I made in the pre-merge, which is basically Natalie and Mojo. We know how the Natalie story ended, not great for me. So I kind of just had to adapt during this game. I knew there was a power cluster. I knew there was the 3 guys, and Taylor, who was a strong player, heard all about them in the swap tribe. So I started to take swings right away and see what I could make happen, which wasn't much. But through that, I was never really targeted. It never blew back on me that much. I was able to maintain a decent relationship with Ricky until the round he left. I had to let allies go, which was hard. The Mojo vote was really hard for me. I just felt like at that point, Jordan was a better ally just because he was more transparent, and those were the only 2 options on the table, and I felt like Mojo's idol was going to end up biting me. So I made that decision, but it was definitely hard, personally. After that, after Ricky left, basically I was just super paranoid about idols. I figured Taylor probably had one, so I was trying to work with her and make her feel safe so I didn't get idled out of the game. And let's talk about the big decision. I know the 2 jurors that left last had a lot of opinions about the Final 4 decision. I decided to keep Taylor in the game, and I stand by that 100%. My 2 options were evict Jake or evict Taylor. Jake basically tried to get me out of Final 5 and told me the reason was because he thought I was going to win the game, and he thought Ricky was in the jury campaigning for me. Yeah, he really literally thought that, which was pretty ridiculous to me. But I knew Jake was definitely not taking me to the end. I felt like if I stuck my neck out for Taylor, she would save me and take me to the final 2. She just saved me at final 5, so I felt like if I went to final 3 with Taylor and Jordan, I was guaranteed final 2. You can't win the game from jury. Jake is a comp beast. I think there's a good chance he was going to beat me at final 3 and then take me out. So I decided to go that route and sit next to Taylor I'm not scared to sit next to anybody at the end. I feel like my game was good. I played a decent game. I fought like hell to get here. I definitely was at a disadvantage from the merge on. A lot of the people running the game I hadn't met until the merge, so I had to really like work my way into things. And a lot of people point blank told me that they already had the numbers. They felt like they didn't need to talk game with me. So it was definitely challenging. Um, so yeah, I just felt like sitting next to Taylor. I'm sorry. I just felt like that was the best decision for me, and I don't regret it at all. I would do it again, and if people think I'm stupid for that, then I'll own it and I'll be stupid, I guess. But I'm proud of us for making it here, and I don't think we could have did it without each other. So I own that decision, and I look forward to everyone's questions. I just ask that everyone keeps an open mind because I know you'd want me to keep an open mind if you were sitting here. So thank you guys.
Okay. Thank you, Abra. Now it is Taylor's turn to give her speech.
Right. Well, I love you, Abra. First of all, you're great, and I'm happy that we ended up working together at the end of this game. I'm just as shocked as you guys to see me sitting here. We all know that I come into these games with a huge threat on my back. Everyone's looking at me. I'm a bigger face, bigger name in the community, so it's really hard for me to navigate these things. But I was placed on that orange tribe. That's probably the best tribe that I could have been placed on because I was placed with people that didn't really know the potential of damage that I can have on a game. Unfortunately, though, at the beginning of the game, I knew that I was going to hit a crossroad really early on because I was going into a live game where I wasn't going to have my phone for 5 days. So I wasn't able to play the game that I normally do. And that's a very like leader, push my agenda. I don't care what other people have to think. What I want is what I want. But I couldn't do that because I was going to be gone for 5 days. So I had to figure out who was going to take on that role, and that was Jordan on the Orange Tribe. So that's why I initially made the alliance with Jordan, was because I saw a lot of myself in him, and I saw him adapting traits that I normally would take on. I ended up winning that live game. I was gone 5 days without my phone, and I came back to Jordan telling me that Danny Gluck had an idol. Danny Gluck had a steal a vote, and Danny Gluck wanted me out if we had lost blackjack. So knowing all of this information, I knew that I had to get Danny Gluck out because he said my name and he had all these powers. And Danny Gluck ended up going right before swap. Then we swapped onto a tribe that I was grateful for because we won a lot of challenges, so we didn't really have to do a lot. And it was probably the most boring part of my game. But when Nolan said when Nolan said that he wanted me out of the game, or that he didn't trust me and he wasn't working with me, that hurt me emotionally because coming into the game, Nolan and I were friends. So once Nolan said my name, I tried to get him out. I tried to make a move, and I didn't have enough social capital at the time to make it happen because it ended up tying and he stayed in a tie vote. But once Nolan bailed on Knight for like the third or fourth time, and Knight and I became really, really close in the swap, I knew that I could kind of use that to my advantage and push for a Nolan vote again, hoping that this time I'd made enough social connections that people would have wanted Nolan out. Nolan ended up going right before the merge, and then going into merge, my strategy was to get out the people that I couldn't see myself working with or trying to pull in. So Natalie going the first round of merge was definitely something that was really good for my game because she was calling me pumpkin. She didn't really want to work with me. And so like that relationship was never going to be something that I could work with. V going right after, she didn't talk to me at all. So that was another vote that I pushed for and helped me. Then Josh, I found out he was saying my name all throughout the freaking swap. He was saying that he wanted to get all the orange because he thought they were with me. And so I knew that once Josh said that he wanted to get me out to both Knight and Bailey, that Josh had to go that round. But that round is when Jordan told me that Abra knew about Mojo's blue idol. Knowing that I only had the other two idols in the game because Rachel went home with pink and Danny Gluck went home with orange, I knew that that was a huge threat to my game. And if I was going to go at that point, it was probably because of Mojo's idol. So I knew I had to blindside Mojo with his idol, and that was the round to do it. So I'm sorry, Mojo. This was a strategic move on my part, but probably one of the better moves that I made in the game because I knew where the other two idols were, and they were with me. But the round after that round, I really hurt a lot of people, primarily Knight and Danny. Ricky was more understanding of it, but Knight's relationship was something that I really, really valued in the game, and I felt terrible. And so he came to me and said, listen, if you want to still work with me, you have to get rid of your other close ally, and that's Bailey. So I kind of sacrificed Bailey for the bettership of me and Knight's relationship in the game, which sucked on an emotional level because I love Bailey so much, but he had to go at that point. Then I lost Ricky and Knight consecutively, which was like when my game hit the lowest. But I honestly don't believe that if I didn't hit that low, I would have never gotten to here, because that move, or like those two people going one after the other, was the reason why I went to Abra. I looked at the final five and said, Danny's taking Jordan, Jake's taking Jordan, Jordan's probably going to take Abra, but he's not going to try to fight for Abra in the final three immunity because he knows that everyone's taking him. So I went to Abra and said, I will be that person to fight for you. I want to make it to the end, and I will bring you. And so that relationship was
it up.
Yeah, that's it. Ask me questions. Bye.
Sorry to cut you off.
It's okay. I have a lot to talk about. I played the game, so.
I was about to say, well, you'll have time to, I'm sure, address it in the questions. Since Mojo is in Europe, therefore he is way ahead of us time-wise, I'm going to go ahead and let him go first, just so he can, maybe go to bed afterwards. And yeah, Mojo, you have 7 minutes.
Okay, hi guys, hello. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous, I don't know why. I wanted to start by saying well done, and I want you guys to keep in the back of your heads throughout this that even if someone says something negative or you don't think it's going your way, like, you've both done so well, and I'm so happy for you both, so like, don't let it put you down. Also, I've said I'm going to be positive, so if I say anything and it sounds like I'm being negative, I'm just trying to get like my point across. I'm so happy for both of you, so well done. So Abra, I'm going to come to you first, because I've never played a game where I've been as loyal to someone as I was to you. I never would have written your name down. I never would have thrown your name out, and if I ever thought for a second that you were going home, then like I would have played my idol on you, and that's 100% genuine. I know it's not your fault because I know that day, like, I wasn't round much because it was my mother's birthday, and people got in your head and told you stuff that wasn't necessarily true. But it kind of leads me to my question for you, because I want to know, like, how you think you. In this game, I feel like people came to you, even though you weren't really close to many people, people came to you with information. And I want to know how you think you took that information. Do you think you were good at deciphering what was true and what wasn't? And do you have an example of when information has come to you and you've used it to your advantage to get your own way?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that I was given a lot of information in the game. Definitely with your idol, like, I did feel like you were completely loyal to me. And I wasn't going to tell anybody that until like a round before. And then people were telling me different things, which I didn't fully believe. Like, I knew Bailey was trying to throw you under the bus when it was really him, but it seemed like there was a hint of truth to it. I heard about you having a chat with Knight and Danny, and I know you like talked about including me in that, but then didn't tell me about it. So I just thought like you had more going on and weren't completely loyal to me anymore. So I was scared the idol was going to end up screwing me over. Like how I use information, for example, with the idol, I didn't tell anybody about it until I felt like I did need to get you out. Definitely were my first choice. I just felt like Jordan was a better ally at that moment. Other than that, like with I knew Bailey and Taylor playing the middle, and I definitely went to Ricky different times with that information. I wouldn't say it actually got me very far, but I was definitely planting seeds and telling people things. Every time I felt slighted by somebody or somebody was playing the middle, I would go and spill everything I knew about them. When Taylor voted for me, I told Ricky she had an idol. That worked out well, but yeah, just basically anytime I felt like someone wasn't on my side, I would use whatever information I had on them to try and get them out.
Okay, thank you. Taylor, for you, I don't have a question, but I wanted to go first tonight because I wanted to say this to you. I genuinely believe that everyone sat here, you have played the best game. Like, I genuinely believe that. That's not an offense to your bruh. I believe that, but for me to vote for you tonight, I need to hear you own up to the moves you've made, the people you've manipulated, like the lies you've told. Because I feel like throughout the game, you've tried to give up a persona that you're like always being honest, you're loyal, like you're a sweet gal. I'm not saying you're not a sweet gal, but in this game, like you've got to lie, you've got to manipulate. And I think you've done that more than anyone else here. Like you've had relationships that you've used to manipulate people in a sense. So for me to vote for you tonight, I really need you to answer these questions honest, and like be genuine. And yeah, just own up to everything. And that's all I want to say. So good luck to you both. I love you both. Lots of love. Good luck.
Okay. I think Ricky wants to go next, so I'm gonna let Ricky.
Yeah,
do
I'll
this
go.
today.
So, first, I want to congratulate both of you guys. I think.
You're kind of muffled, Ricky. Just by the way.
Let me go on Wi-Fi. Fuck my life. This is how it's gonna start.
It's better now. You were like,
Okay.
Hey, you sound fine now. I think it was just where your phone was.
So first, I want to congratulate you both on making it. Honestly, if you look at both swap tribes, I think you have the strongest two players based on those tribes sitting here. So while I think Taylor, you played an obvious great game, Aubrey, I don't think you played a horrible game. My issue with you, I think, have all been more personal, but I'll get into that. Looking at Taylor, you see someone who pretty much was in a controlling place from every step of the game. She made moves consistently, even if they were greedy for herself. At any point she wanted to. And she did that with the risk of people getting mad at her. And when people did get mad at her, she's still sitting up in the finals. She still didn't lose those allies. And for me, like as someone who is playing this game, I usually don't allow that to happen. I don't allow people to do those things to me. And she did those things to me. While the whole time I still sat there saying, I trust this person. And I still trust this person. I'm sitting on the jury, but like, she did all those things. I still trusted her. I think that's a good game player. In contrast, my issue with you, Abra, is that whenever you tried to say to me that people were trying to imply that I did not like you, but I did everything in my power to show you that I did. I worked hard in our friendship. I worked hard in our game relationship. I told you the truth every time I could. I lied to you once about a vote when I wanted to be greedy, when I wanted a choice for myself to make a move because everyone else was duping me. I feel like you mismanaged our relationship in the game. So I want you to know that I have nothing bad to say about you. I just think you mismanaged me and you treated me poorly. And in turn, I'm upset with you for it. But tonight, my vote has to be for the person who's going to validate my game and make me feel good about the way I played. And I have nothing much to say because looking at the way Taylor played the game, I think it's an easy choice. And that's not to dismiss you or make you feel bad about yourself, because I think you played a good game for what you were dealt. And you didn't have the same cards as all of us. You were in a worse position, but I didn't really see you ever capitalize on it. So I guess right now my vote's for Taylor, but moving forward within this dynamic of the final tribal, I would like to see maybe somewhere of you saying how you actually took control of the game at any point. I understand that you might have not had the option to do so, but my issue is, how can I vote for you if I don't feel like you really did accomplish anything? So I just want to hear what you have to say throughout the night. And I don't see my vote changing, but I want to give you the option to prove me wrong. I think you both played a really good game. I like that it's a final two of women. I think you both worked your asses off, worked hard. Looking at you both sitting there, I'm happy to be seventh place. You both deserve to be in the finals.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we really have an order dictated after those two. So who would like to go next? Knight, Bailey.
I'll go next.
Okay.
All right, hello. All right, real quick, can you all give me like a 30-second rundown of your opening speech because I wasn't here for that? So I just want like what you guys thought of your game before I ask my questions.
Okay. Oh my God, 30 seconds. I came back after winning a live game and ended up getting out the person with an idol, a steal a vote, and trying to target me. At the swap, I got out the person that was saying my name, and I built a really good relationship with Knight. Came into Merge and got out the first 4 boots of Merge were people that were not with me at all. Blindsided Mojo with the idol. Then your vote was probably the one vote that I did to prove my loyalty to Knight. It wasn't anything against you. He came to me and he was like, if you vote out Bailey, I know you're with me type thing. Or if you go against Bailey. So that was that. And then Abra and I made a deal at Final 5 that I would fight for her. And if she let me get through 4, that I would get her through 3 and bring her to the end.
Okay. Abra?
Okay, so basically I feel like I came into Merge in a bad position, but I was able to adapt and find cracks and find people to work with. I tried to take big swings, didn't always work, but I kept the target off of my back. I wasn't targeted until Final 6. I had to let people go, but I kept my closest allies safe, like Jordan. I decided I was scared that Taylor had another idol, so I decided to work with her at 6 on, and then at 4 I decided to take her because it would guarantee me Final 2, and I felt like that was the smartest choice, even though other people disagreed, but I'm happy with that decision.
Mm-hmm. All right. Abra, for you, so like it should be pretty obvious. Like early Merge, I was like with Taylor the whole time. I'll get to that when I ask you your question because I need one clarification on you. I'm your game. A lot of it to me from the side I saw was like, yeah, we worked together on our swap tribe, but that was mostly like we just all were like in survival mode. But then from Merge on, you were kind of like you and I didn't talk a whole ton, but anytime we did talk, it was mostly you complaining about people not playing the game and just letting like this majority run the game. And I just, do you think there was anything you could have done to break up that majority sooner, or do you think like the path you took was the only path you could take to get here?
No, I feel like I did everything I could to try to get Ricky out the first 2 rounds and went to all the people I thought I could swing, and it didn't happen. I don't think there was much more I could do during those stages. I just had to wait it out and then take swings later.
All right. And Taylor, what was your role in me getting voted out?
I was told by Knight that he was going to use his steal a vote, and that if I threw my vote, it would show that I was loyal to Knight, because he knew that I would never vote you out. But like, still, me throwing my vote was you leaving. So he wanted me to do that in order for them to have majority for you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I was let in on that plan, and then, but I was only let in of that plan by Knight. He was the only one that told me.
All right. And when did he tell you?
Early that day, probably. Okay. Like I want to say, like honestly, after Mojo went type thing, like very early on.
Okay. Yeah. That's like the one move that I think was like bad from your game because like I was 100% loyal to you to the fault of my own game. So like, but like it worked out. You got here. You got 2 idols. I think you needed those idols to get here though because of like cutting people who were numbers for you and stuff. But I think you played a good game. For me, it's hard. Like, I don't like players who have to comp beasts to the end or have to use idols to get to the end. And you didn't because at 4 they kept you for some reason. But like, no offense, but like that shocked a lot of us. But yeah, I'm leaning towards voting you, but I'm hearing Abra's side because like when like we talked at 8, your whole thing was like, I need to win to get to the end and all this stuff, and you're like, I've got your back to the end, Bailey, and like I didn't know it was me going, but I knew it wasn't Knight going because Knight's all doom and gloom. I'm dead. I'm so dead. So like you laid it on a little thick with me, which was a little hurtful, but
Yeah.
I
Definitely.
want to hear Abra's side because I'm not the biggest fan of people who have to comp out to get to the end.
That's
So
fair. But I would argue honestly that I didn't have to comp out to get to the end, especially with Jake in the game. Um, and then like the one challenge that I did really need was Final Three, where I stayed up for 19 hours and I posted every 5 minutes because I was dedicated to getting to the end and pitching my game because I'm proud of the game that I played. Do I agree that you leaving absolutely was terrible for my game? But my relationship with Knight was really important to me as well,
Mhm.
and him giving me that ultimatum, it scared me a little bit, honestly. So yeah,
yeah.
it
All
was
right.
good for my game. I agree, but like, yeah, it was a decision that I made.
Yeah. I'm just like talking things out because like I haven't talked about the game much since I got
Perfect.
out. But yeah, I think both of you played great games. Abra, like full respect, like of like our tribe that was the worst tribe to ever exist in any org. You like outlasted all of us by a mile and made it to the end, while the rest of us were basically picked off at the start of merge, minus Mojo going in between all that. So yeah, I think you both played great games, and hope the rest of these questions go well.
Thank you.
Well, I guess we should wait for Danny to get here. I didn't really I didn't really plan for much filler, so I guess I'll take this time to thank the dedicated fans of our game. That's both like the people in the VL and then people on the Facebook page commenting how everyone's been robbed. That's always fun to read. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Yeah, for those of you watching, this right now, we're waiting for Danny to pop in because he's at work and has a very short window. I don't want to get copyrighted and start playing music, so I shouldn't do that.
Sing jazz instead.
I start serenading. That'd be
Yes.
so awkward.
Just take more shots, and there's some good in that.
Well, if the finalists would take another shot right now, now's your time.
It's alright. I don't want to be completely drunk playing my closing.
I was about to say, if he's not here by 8:35, aka 2 minutes from now, we will move on tonight because I think he's the only one who hasn't gone yet.
You should just let Knight go, and then like when Danny comes in, just shut Knight up, like we all.
Yeah, like we always do. I would
What if
love
the Knight's
that.
his groove though? Like, you know, he's in like the meat and potatoes of his speech, and then it's like boom, cut off.
But do we
Doesn't
actually
matter,
care what
right?
Knight has to say? Like, do anyone
Not
Exactly.
really.
Okay, well, Knight, do you want to risk
Give,
it? Go.
give him 2 more minutes.
Okay.
First of all, how dare you for like calling me out and being like, we have a time limit, and then this happens after my questions.
I know.
Charity.
I know, Bailey. This is not cool.
It was my fault for assuming that a good time estimate would be literal.
Also, I knew we
You
had
know
a
what
time
they say
limit.
about
I was
assuming.
keeping mindful of it.
I know. I just like, I don't know. I wanted to remind. But yeah, we'll give it one more minute and then Knight can go. And then we'll see if Danny's here at that point. This jury is 2 people smaller than it was supposed to be, so this probably won't be the longest finale. Let's see.
Why don't you? Oh wait, never mind. You already told them why. Drama.
Okay, do you want me to go?
Yep, you can go ahead.
Okay. Hi, ladies. Very happy for both of you. I'll start with Abra. Yeah, please interrupt me midway, Danny. This would be perfect. Abra, like, I've kind of been like the honestly one who has been like fighting for your game the most in jury because I think I've really appreciated the under the radar game you've played. I think like for some reason you've just been able to like squeak by these like spots where you like actually should have went home in a lot of situations or been a target, and I think that's is like super impressive. I know you and I never got on super well game-wise. We always kind of said that we would, but then never did. But it has nothing to do with like my personal, like how I think of you as a person at all. It's just I never saw a spot where I really needed to kind of, form my bonds with you. But that's my own personal downfall in that. But I just want to say that you played really great. My question for you though is the one thing I really don't understand about your game, because I do kind of understand everything up to this point, is the taking Taylor and cutting Jake. And that's the one move that it kind of just like boggles my mind out of anything. And so do you think that was a misstep on your part? Do you think Taylor manipulated that situation? Or can you just go into depth about that? Because I need clarification.
Sure. No, I absolutely don't think it was a misstep or a mistake. I think if I cut Taylor and not Jake, then we have an all-male Final Two right now. Basically, Jake tried to get me out at Final Five and then told me point blank that the reason he did that was because he thought I was going to win the game and Ricky was hyping me up. So I knew at that moment, Jake is not taking me to Final Two. Jake is taking Jordan. Jordan even told me Jake made a Final Two with him. And I assumed it was going to be a Final Two, as we all did. And Jake's a comp beast. He just won 2 comps in a row. I assumed this is probably going to be endurance, and that's Jake's specialty. So I knew there was a good chance I'm not going to beat Jake, and then I'm going to get cut. Taylor, I trusted at that point. She didn't have anyone else, and she saved me at 5, and I believed her that if I kept her at 4, she would take me to 2, because she's also a comp beast. So, and I was right. She did take me. So I stand by that 100%. Is she hard to beat? Absolutely. But I feel like I did play a good game, and I do deserve a chance. And I wasn't scared about who I sat next to. You can't win a game from the jury. So I wanted a seat here. So I did what I needed to do to get a seat here. And I thought that was the best decision, and it got me here. So I stand by it.
Cool. Okay, Taylor. Congrats on sitting in these chairs. You killed it. You played at being with you and watching your game for most of it, obviously, since we swapped or whatever. It's been cool to see how you've navigated every situation so well. And even when I left, you were still able to navigate it. It says a lot about your game. My question for you is, what was like your funnest move or like biggest move or like one that was like you loved the most that you did? Like, talk me through that.
Yeah, definitely blindsiding Mojo with the blue idol was probably my most like sneaky fun move, because I used information that I had gotten, and I used it to my advantage because I had the other 2 idols in my pocket. So they were like, other than your steal votes, which I had known, like your steal vote and Ricky's steal vote, I knew that at least like that was the one power that could have gotten me out. So it was fun to work with the other side and try to get Mojo blindsided, and it was even more fun because those were the people that Mojo considered to be close to him. So I used information that you had given me, information that other people have given me to my advantage, and try to get Mojo out. Now, what wasn't fun was like obviously the aftermath of it, but I still stand by that move because that move was a big part of why I think I got through that middle stage of the merge.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that because I feel like if you didn't own it and you said, oh yeah, no, I wouldn't do that again because it hurt your feelings, I feel like that would be a big hit to you because you make moves and you own them, and that's the name of the game. And so I appreciate that. Basically all I have to say. Good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna give Danny one last try. I'm gonna hold on. I mean, you guys are in the chat, you see. Okay. Let's say, yeah, as you guys can see, Jake and B could not make it tonight. They were both busy. They didn't leave any questions either. They didn't leave any questions either for some reason.
I was excited for Jake because he's like, you guys let me be on jury. I was expecting a blow up, but it's fine. We'll live.
Yeah, you guys should. Oh, whoa. That's good. Yeah, I was about to say we're doing awards after the finale. They will be posted on the Facebook page. We had the VL vote, and oh, Danny's here.
Everyone quiet.
Go ahead, Danny.
Okay, I'm here. So.
Hi, it's your turn, Danny.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So I'm actually literally like on the toilet because it is my bathroom break. So now everyone in the game can say that they've had a call with me on the toilet. So I'm gonna start off by saying that I think that both of you have flaws in your game. Not to say that you haven't played good games. So I wanna ask my first question about what you perceive as your biggest weakness, just to see if it co-aligns with what I think. So yeah, you can start whenever.
Our biggest weakness in the game or like quality, like personality traits?
No. I'm not gonna ask about your personality. That's like too
fucking no. I just want to clarify.
No, just talk about your gameplay.
Gameplay, of course. Yeah, biggest weakness was just letting Bailey go. Honestly, because he was in my corner. He was a loyal trooper for me and an ally, and I manipulated him a lot during that round. So that altogether sucked. So yeah.
My biggest weakness was probably having connections with the right people, especially the early merge. I wasn't able to make a lot happen. I had to let a lot of allies go because I didn't have the power in the game to do things. And if I probably would have worked on certain people more, I would have had more power and more ability to make moves.
Okay, I mean, not exactly what I wanted from the answers. I wanted like things that you guys personally did. I mean, Taylor, you answered it correctly, but Abra, you kind of like answered it as like something that happened to you, not something that you caused. But whatever, it's not important. I'm gonna be honest. I think one of you, of course, made a game-losing move to get here. That person obviously knows who that is, and I'd like to go into that. Do you think, Abra, that it's more important to get to the finals or to win the finals?
I think it's more important to get to the finals because you can't win from the jury house. I feel like I played a good game and I should have a chance against anyone, and I just wanted a chance to fight and prove my case. And yeah, I took the route that was going to guarantee me final two. If that makes me an idiot, then I'm fine with that label. But Jake was a comp beast. Jake wasn't taking me. So I feel like I'd be an idiot if I took a comp beast in final three who told me point blank that they were going to cut me. So that's what I think about that.
Okay, but you can also say that second place is no better than 24th place. And I think you kind of just wanted that slightly better placement. I mean, obviously we all like differ with the ways we think about this game, and I understand completely why you took out Jake. It makes sense. It guarantees you more of a spot in the final two. But at the same time, I think as a player, you should have recognized that the only chance of you getting to the end is if you or Jordan won final immunity. You seem to not have realized that, and I think that's a little bit weird. It's like kind of a very obvious thing.
It wasn't obvious to me. I feel like I played a strong game, and if you don't want to listen to it or have respect for it, that's your choice. But
no,
I
love to listen to it. Can you tell me about
or anyone else? Yeah, I can. I had to fight to be here. I had to adapt. I had to change each round. I built connections with people. I made moves. I was super paranoid, and that helped me. I knew that Taylor probably had the idol. I told you that numerous times, and you didn't want to listen. That's why I worked on Taylor the most. I made sure she felt safe at Final Six, so I didn't get idled out of the game because that almost happened. That's why I switched the vote last minute to get Night out. That's why I told you we were splitting the votes because Jordan didn't want to betray you, so I had to take the blame. So I had to tell you that I was voting Taylor, and I switched my vote to Night. I called Taylor right before the vote with Jordan to try and make her feel safe, so she didn't play an idol. Yes, I got votes, but I didn't leave, so I stand by that. If Taylor left that round, I think I'm gone right after her. I don't think you boys were letting me get to the end. You were all promising Jordan Final 2, and he was telling me every single time. So I needed somebody that had my back that wanted to go to the end with me. Like, I can't win every single competition. I just can't do that. So I chose the route to get me here, and I stand by that 100%.
Okay, and that's fine. But you also commented on how you think that taking out Jake was mostly important because he's a challenge beast, yet Taylor goes for 18 hours in the next challenge, and she's clearly been a challenge threat throughout the whole game.
Yeah, duh, but she was taking me to the end and he wasn't, so that's a big difference.
Okay. I mean, I don't agree with your game, Abra. I think that a lot of your decisions were poor, and I don't think you really had an influence over where you ended up. I think a lot of other people's actions put you here. But that's fine. I mean, you got here anyway, and that's a lot better than most of us.
Have your opinion?
Of course, it's my opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about opinions. Besides that, besides anything I just said, I also want to point out that, and I mentioned this in the jury chat. A big reason why I'm not voting for you tonight, Abra, is because I don't know a single fact about your personal life, and I don't feel comfortable voting for someone who I don't know anything about. And you can't blame me. That's because you never took the time to share information about yourself. And I think that shows a poor social game, and Survivor's a social game. So for that reason, I mean, Taylor, you know our history, you know everything we went through in the game. I still have so much respect for you as a person and as a player. I do think the only fault in your game is the fact that you needed 2 idols to get here, but that's not your fault entirely. You had 2 idols, you're going to use it, obviously. Yeah, I can't fault you on anything else. You played a great game, and I'm at work, so I should probably leave. Or I'll get fired from this job, too. Bye. Sorry, Abra. It's really, I'm not trying to trash talk you.
Okay, well, you told me that you didn't try to talk to me at the beginning of merge because you felt safe and you already had the number, so you can't put it all on me.
I never said that.
So, I don't know. They were trying more with me, so I tried more with them. You're the person I tried the least with. Is that part of my fault? Sure. But
yeah, never said I didn't talk to you because I felt safe, but okay, sure.
You did. You told me I felt like I had the number, so I didn't really need to talk to you.
No, I didn't talk to you because I felt like I couldn't talk to you. But okay. Bye.
Bye.
Fight with the person who's giving you a vote. That's smart. More social game. Bye.
Okay, I think everyone has gone at this point who at least planned on being here. I don't think the other 2 jurors will be here. And obviously we lost 2, so that's the end of the questioning. But I do want to give both finalists a chance to give closing speeches, maybe address some things that weren't asked, or address some things that maybe they didn't explain well during the questions. And I guess your last chance to pitch why you should win. I was about to say Abra went first last time, so Taylor goes first this time.
All right, so I played the hell out of this game. I'm not afraid to push my own agenda. I'm not afraid for people to know my opinion. But I also am an emotional player, and I play up on that as well. So that's probably why some of you thought I was playing a sweet, honest game, but it's not me to my core. I at final 11 got most likely to win the game, biggest jury threat, most social, God knows what other superlative I got. And still nobody wrote my name down until final 6. I only got 3 votes this season. And I was not afraid to play this game. And even when I was at my lowest and I lost Bailey and then I lost Ricky and then I lost Knight, I was still able to manipulate my way to the end. Yes, I think that aligning with Abra was a good move for her and I, but it was my only option to get to the end because nobody else had me in their final 2, final 3, final 4, final anything. So I stand by the game that I played. I know that I had idols, and I know that that's not something that you want to hear, but I didn't even play them successfully, so there's that. I hope that you vote for the player that you think deserves it the most. Because this is the first season of All Out, and we want to start off on a good night. I hope that you respect my game. I respect each and every one of you. Thank you so much, Eddie, Charity, Kyle, for this insane game and asking me to play. I'm so happy that I did, and yeah, thank you all.
Oh, sorry. It's Abra's turn to give her closing speech.
All right. So, yeah, this has been a long, hard game for me. I felt like I fought my ass off to get here. Every move I made got me closer to this goal, and it definitely was not easy. I feel like if every one of you was asked at the beginning of merge if I was going to be sitting here at finals, you would say no. And if you were asked if Taylor would be sitting here, you'd probably say yes. I felt like I just had a harder road. I had to fight more. I mean, it's not to discredit your game. You played amazing, honestly. But I did need idols to get here. I did need a big alliance. I had to rely on a couple of people. I had to adapt every single round. I always frowned upon people that wanted to make boot lists and tell me exactly each round when everyone was going to leave, because I know that stuff never pans out. My game was all about being round to round, doing what was best for me at the moment, making a decision that was going to get me here. If people don't respect that, I'm sorry, but I stand by it completely. I always knew who was leaving at Tribal, except for when Natalie left. It was the only time I was surprised. So I feel like that just shows that I was being given information, even if I wasn't in the direct power alliance. Yeah, I just feel like I fought really hard to get here, and I'm really happy with the game I played and proud of it. And all I can ask is that everyone takes that into consideration. And thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, finalists. Thank you, jurors, for your questions. Now is the time where you will vote. Obviously, unlike other times when you voted in the game, you are voting for the person you want to win. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and do that right now. I would give announcements right now, but I'm focused on writing. So, yeah, reunion call after the finale. I'll add all the pre-jurors and everything, and you guys can talk. Okay, everyone, I am back with the votes. Sorry, I don't have like a special like urn or anything. Before I do that or reveal the votes, I'm just gonna go ahead and say thank yous again to everyone who tuned in for the season. You guys made this game so awesome. Thank you to the players. Thank you to the finalists. We had our ups and downs for sure, but I think overall our first season was a lot of fun. And spoiler, looking forward to another one, hopefully in the near future. But more on that later. So right now I'm going to go ahead and reveal the votes because it is something weird happened on my computer. Because it is a 7-person jury, you need 4 votes to win. And without further ado, here we go. So the first vote, Taylor. So that's 1 vote, Taylor. Next vote, Abra. So that's 1 vote, Taylor. 1 vote, Abra.
Sorry, Charity, I don't think you have your camera on.
What, do I not? Yeah, I do.
Okay. I can't see.
Yeah,
Can
I can't see
anyone
you either.
Oh, that's
I
so
can't see it either.
It literally says it's on. Like, I hate my life. How about now?
Honestly, if,
Still can't see,
if
and don't worry,
Kristen
we
was
all hate
doing
your
this, I
life
bet
too.
her camera would work.
Well, watch it
Still-
work. Well,
still
it's
can't see
working.
you.
It's
Okay,
working.
imagine.
Ow.
I guess my camera's permanently broken. Go me. Because it says it's on. Okay, well, I guess you guys are getting visual cues for who's for the votes. And I will show them anyways, just in case it comes out in the recording. So 1 vote Taylor, 1 vote Abra. Third vote. Showing it anyways. Taylor. So that's 2 votes Taylor, 1 vote Abra. 4th vote, Taylor. So that's 3 votes Taylor, 1 vote Abra. You need 1 more vote to win. Next vote. And the winner of All Out Season 1, Taylor. Congratulations, Taylor. If you want to give a speech, you can.
Thank you to the people that voted for me. Thank you, Abra, for giving me a shot. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here, honestly. Thank you to all the people in my confessionals rooting me on. Thank you to Kyle, Eddie, and Charity again for putting this together. And I'm excited for this reunion call because I'm sure the pre-jury wants to spill all what they know. And yeah, thank you again.
Okay, well, with that being said, thank you guys for an awesome season. We will be moving things to a reunion call here shortly, and I will stop the video.